There's ants here all crawling around and stuff, so.
What you doing?
Just damaging this window so we have some content. That's a big one. I love watching these guys work. Moisture. Sneaking onto the neighbor's property here. Hey, Chris, your Calgary Home Inspector, here again with Ecoline windows. We're checking out yet another install. We're down in Millrise in the Southwest today. Got a little bit of a cooler day, a little break from the Stampede heat wave that we've been enduring. So it's a nice day. We'll check out these installs. Okay, yeah, you good?
Yeah.
So on the front of the house here, we have a big, old, probably original window. Big thing I noticed, and thinking about like what we had this week with a lot of heat, is that there's a lot of heat that gets transferred inside the house. So this house particularly is sitting in the sun for most of the day. We got the sunrise over in the east, and it's just beating down on this window. If we have 30+ degree heat, you're getting a lot of heat that's transmitting through these windows and getting inside your living space, heating that up. So you're either running the air conditioner a lot more, or if you don't have one, you're sweating inside your house. So replacing a window with a low solar heat gain, in this case, like a newer window, is gonna reduce the amount of heat that gets transferred inside the house. So a lot of value for replacing a big window like this.
Is it flimsy?
It's not the worst window I found, but this mechanism is definitely flimsy. On your new windows, they come with this Energy Star label, and there's a bit of information that comes with those. So we got 3 ratings here that they're showing. U factor is similar to an R value when we're talking about like walls or attic insulation. So that's the thermal transfer that's occurring. This has an inverse relationship to your R value. So in this case, a lower number is better. So 0.16 for U factor is very low. Your Triple-Pane is typically like 0.2 and less. On the other side, we have solar heat gain. So this will determine how much heat gain can be transferred through the window. But we also want to block heat out when we have hot summer days, like we have all Stampede. So this is kind of in the middle, like a 0.49. And the last one is visible transmittance, which just determines how much visible light the window actually lets into this space. So again, we want something kind of in the 0.5, 0.6 range that's gonna allow visible light to come in, actually illuminate the space inside, and not block out daylight.
Trying to get rid of me or what?
Maybe.
Okay.
Stalking me a little bit too much. First one of the day, popping this window out. Honestly, for an old wood window, you can see like the frame's in pretty good condition. So definitely still recommend upgrading. Like windows have a 25, 30 year life, that this is well overdue for an upgrade, but it's nice to see that those windows have lasted this long and are still in decent condition. All right, before he cuts this part, I just wanted to show, look at the difference in this paper at the sill versus what's up here on the jamb. You can see there's not really a lot of water that's been getting in on the jamb side, but it has been sitting on the sill. This is crinkled paper, a lot of evidence that moisture has just been sitting there and been driven inside the underneath of the window. So nice to get those sealed up.
Are you looking for gold?
I might find a piece or two. You can see there's a little bit of staining on the wood. So again, that moisture has gotten onto the sill, but we get our wood from the forest. It has the ability to dry back out. It just needs to not be constantly wet and have that opportunity to evaporate that moisture that it's absorbing. So this sill is still in good condition, even though there has been some water penetration to this area. This is that window we just took out of the front. I flipped it upside down. So this is the sill side now, and the head is at the bottom. But what we see is matching to the paper and the sill. We can see that there has been some moisture getting in, sitting on this sill, still in relatively good condition, 30+ year old window. And if that's all we're seeing on it, it's held up and it's done its job, but still time for replacement.
What you doing?
just damaging this window so we have some content. Trying to pull this seal out. So what we can see here is that this window seal has started to crack and deteriorate. It's gotten old. You can see even as I pick away at it, it's really frail. So you are gonna get air leakage around the window. Condensation is gonna try to move through those areas. That's a big one. I love watching these guys work. Sneaking onto the neighbor's property here. They have some fairly new windows as well, and a couple of things jump out. Like we can see this seam here, it's really bulged in the corner, especially where it comes into the window pane. It's like all four corners there. You see a different style of brick mold. So if we look over here, this is the new Ecoline one. This is personal preference. I prefer this aesthetic of this brick mold casing. I just feel like it's more decorative. And these seams, when they come into the window, just a lot cleaner. You're not getting that same bulging of the material.
Are you stealing it?
I am. So this is again the neighbor's window. But one thing, notice is the weep holes. So jump to Ecolines after, but I really like the style of them. These are relatively flat, so they're sitting flat. There's a slope on the outside here, but in terms of water getting out, I like the style of Ecolines. So here on Ecolines, this is the weep hole. It's a good size. This is for if any water gets in and sits where the slider track is, water needs a way to get back out from there. So that's where your weep holes come in. But what I like about theirs is they're very downward directed. So it's really gonna drive water to get back out. And then we have a good slope on the lower part of the sill here. It's gonna kick that out away from the building, and just a much cleaner, stronger drainage profile in my opinion. That is inside the window. So this moisture we're seeing is in between these two panes. As we saw, try to touch it on the outside, make sure it wasn't on the exterior side of this glazing. It's not on the inside here. So the seal around this glazing has failed, and as moisture is trying to pass from one direction or another, it's actually getting trapped in between these panes in that airspace. And in the winter, when you get the same thing, this is where you'll get freezing on the glazing on the inside, and you won't be able to get rid of it because you can't scrape it off either side. It's in between the panes. We've seen this on a few of these window inspections now. We got old bad insulation, the black roofing paper. Nothing wrong with it per se, but it's just outdated technology-wise. The new windows, low expansion spray foam. These guys are throwing ladders at me. Is just an upgrade that's overdue at this point. Just want to keep your house up with, modern practice, current technology. Get the most out of your windows. Nice. So another area we haven't talked about, but it's nice on these windows. There's 3 positions that this window will latch on, all from the one locking mechanism there. So there's a long arm that goes the whole length of the window, and these will catch on these mechanisms here and compress this window shut against this weather stripping. That's what's gonna make sure that this seal is tight all the way around. So if you only have these locking mechanisms in 1, 2 spots, you might not be getting as effective of an air seal around your window. So that arm is in there really solidly. So it doesn't move by hand, but moves via this mechanism. I hope you can see it very smoothly. But no, that's locked in. So it's not a flimsy piece of material that you have there on the window. We just do when they get both of them out and do a walk through of what a nice breezeway it is with the doors removed. Last time I helped with a little bit of window removal install. This time, I'm gonna take the screen door out. Give these guys a hand. Except it doesn't come out. I'll let the professionals do it. Just need to apply more force, that was all. Just too cautious with it, you know?
It's all about the muscles. You're not too strong enough.
I'm not. That guy though, he's got him.
What are you looking at?
Windows. This little part that's pulled up, just make sure it gets adhered to the existing building paper. I have to do something. I undoubtedly do the least amount of work while we're here. Let me get my hands on it. This is the 3M flashing membrane. So this is new, modern technology. It's basically a flexible tape that will adhere to the wood jamb, the wood sill, and protect it. So where we saw that moisture ingress that was happening, this will help protect the sill from any further rot should water get in behind the window. It's not likely to happen anytime in the near future with, a new window, fresh install, fresh silicone caulking around the perimeter. But again, those little elements will age, and this will be here as a last line of defense protecting the actual structure.
So what means triple-pane and triple glaze? I would like to understand that.
Triple-pane, triple glaze is basically the same, but it refers to the number of glass pieces that are in your window. So in a triple-pane, you'll have one on the interior, one on the exterior, and you'll have one piece in the middle.
So this is what the windows has?
Yeah, these will be triple-pane.
Okay.
And then in between each of those panes, it's filled with argon gas, I believe, which is what provides the insulative value of the windows.
Okay.
So in a double pane, you only have that single layer of gas that's insulating the window because the glass itself isn't doing all that much. It's that gas layer. Mm-hmm. So you're basically doubling up on that when you get to triple pane. Find a nice spot to sit in every inspection. So we're just shimming the window in place now, getting everything level, and then we'll fasten it into the jambs. Just to then insulate around the perimeter, low expansion spray. And then once that's filled out, cured, we'll see them put the casings on to finish this off. We took out this sliding patio rear door, and what we found is at the sill level, it's quite rotted out here. We're looking at rot on the exterior sheathing here and into the sub plywood floor where that's deteriorating. And then we can see there's a little bit of infestation here as well. I say a little bit, but we don't really know to what degree this goes in, but there's ants here all crawling around and stuff. So it sounds like the homeowner has called pest control, and they're gonna do a spray to mitigate the amount of ant infestation in this area. But we're gonna have a closer look at all of this and see how far this rot has actually spread, and homeowners will determine to what extent they would like to make repairs today. All right, so we actually saw some windows here that were in decent condition for being a 30-year-old property, some old wood windows that were still overdue and benefit from a technology upgrade in terms of, triple pane vinyl windows. What we also saw was some rot at the sliding door out in the rear. In this case, that rot and that damage extended beyond that of the window envelope that falls under Ecoline's project scope. So in this case, they will be looking at independent contractors to come in and do some remedial repairs around that framed opening before they proceed with installing that new sliding glass door. So that work will be to come later, but it's great to see the care that's gone into, finding that issue and treating it appropriately. This is Chris from the Calgary Home Inspector Corp, and I definitely recommend looking into Ecoline windows for your next window replacement project.